guys, and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a plant update video. I'm going to give you all the amazing updates and all the beautiful plants I have here, and then we'll go outside and I'll show you the ones I have outside. So let's get started. We are going to start with the Easter cactuses, which I only have 2 left at this point. So here is this big Easter cactus right here. This guy is doing well. There's signs of new leaves coming in, which is always something you want to see on any cactus, no matter what it is, an Easter or Christmas cactus. So then here's this little one right here who is growing new leaves every day, which is something amazing. So now we're going to move on to Christmas cactuses, and down here in Florida it's getting cooler, which is what I was waiting for it to do. Tonight is going to get about 65 and below, so I will have to turn the heater on for my orchids, but I will definitely place these by the back door before I go to bed, and then I'll bring them out when I come in the morning. So if it's around about 68 or below, that'll be the time I suggest you put them in a cold room or put them by a door where they'll get cold air, because that will signal it's time to start creating flowers. So here's this big Christmas cactus. There's no flowers yet because I haven't started putting it by the back door yet, but it has lots and lots of beautiful leaves, and hopefully this season we will see some beautiful flowers. Here's this Christmas cactus. This one is growing new leaves. Everything seems to be looking good with these guys. And this is my last Christmas cactus. And this guy is doing quite well. Look at that, new leaves coming in. Everything seems to be looking good at this point. The only thing I would have to do for my cactuses is just water them at this point. I do fertilize them every 2 weeks, so when it's fertilizing time, I fertilize them. But other than that, I just wait till the soil is dry, and then I water them with just regular tap water. I don't use any specialty water with my cactuses or my aloe or any other plants besides the orchids. The orchids get specialty water. So here is my aloe plant. As you can see, this leaf is starting to die off. That's totally normal, but we got a new leaf in here growing. So everything is looking good with this guy so far. No signs like the one it was with that is going to die off, so that's always a plus. So now we're going to move on to my orchids. All I have are Phalaenopsis orchids. As you can see, this flower speck is growing quite well. The leaf is doing well. The roots are doing quite well. So everything is looking good right now. So I'm just really excited to see new flowers on my orchids since it is getting a bit cooler. I will keep the heater about 65 or above so it does not get too cold for my orchids. Because if you have orchids, you know that they can't take really cold temperatures, especially Phalaenopsis orchids. I know for the Phalaenopsis orchids, they can't have any cold air below 65. So as long as it's 65 and above, you should be good. So everything is looking good with these guys. We got this flower spike that's still going strong. The roots are looking good. Lots of secondary roots growing in, which is always something I want to see. And the fish bowls, I always get them from PetSmart. That's my go-to place to get bowls that I'm going to use for water culture, because they're nice, they're clear, they have glass, they have plastic ones. It just depends on your preference, but I know PetSmart has good fish bowls that I use daily. So if you want to get clear fish bowls, glass or plastic, my recommendation is going to PetSmart, because that is the best place I've found them at so far. But there's heavy duty fish bowls. I've used them ever since I switched to water culture. It's probably been over a year now, and they're doing quite well. So we got this leaf growing right here. We got this area root growing right here. I got another one over here. I got one over here. And we got this beautiful flower spike that's still growing strong. and the root system is doing quite well. It is normal to have at least one aerial root, if not more than one. That's normal. But it is what it is. Some want to go in the water, some want to go in the air. It's their preference. And you shouldn't try to change their preference. Just stick them back in the way you had them before and everything will be good. So we got this beautiful flower spike that's still growing. It's very, very tall. Very, very tall. And here's the aerial roots that are growing out. The roots are doing quite well. And there, don't know if you can tell, but right here is a new leaf coming in. It's very, very tiny right now. I barely noticed it, so it's just coming in, which is a good sign. When you see new leaves or new roots coming in, that's a sign that your orchid is very, very happy. Because if it was not happy, the leaves would be dying off, the roots would be dying off. That would be telling you, I don't like this, you need to change something. So here is my smallest orchid right here. I changed it to its big container. So I try to set it against the ribs since it's so tiny. It doesn't have many roots in the water right now. But everything is looking good. The leaves are looking good. The roots are looking good. It's hard to hold because there's a lot of water in this. Yeah, but everything seems to be going quite well. There's a few roots in the water at this point, but again, I just place the orchid against the edge so it kind of keeps the roots in the water, not topsides the orchid. Definitely don't want that. So here is my final orchid that I have, and then we'll go outside. No new signs on the leaves as of yet, but this root that's popping out, I don't know if you can tell, it's really tiny right now. It's growing a little bit more, and all the roots seem to be doing good. I don't see any signs of stress, especially when there's a root coming in. So everything seems to be looking very, very good. And with that, we are going to go outside. I'm going to show you the aloe plants, the poinsettias, and the rosebush. And when we get back, I'll tell you if it's time to start setting up the poinsettia to start producing some flowers for Christmas. Okay guys, here are my aloes. There's the mother aloe right there who is doing quite well. She's growing lots and lots of leaves. And she's growing lots and lots of babies. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 babies total right now. Not counting the ones I have inside. So right now she has 6 babies, but they can grow up to 12. They can produce about 12 babies a year. So we're getting there. We are. So definitely always keep in mind when you're planting an aloe plant that they will produce babies around them, and they can produce 12 babies a year. So, but everything's looking good. Just have to water them every so often. The aloe plants, I'm not really worried about because they're part of the cactus family, so I'm not worried about watering them as often. I would normally water them about once a week. So yeah, everything is looking good with these guys. And here is the poinsettia. This one's doing quite well. Everything is looking good. Right now, they just need to be in about 12 to 15 hours of darkness. If you have them inside, you would want to cover them up for at least 12 to 15 hours a day. Water them as normal. But since I did the research and there is complete darkness outside in Florida right now for at least 12 hours. So I'm not really worried about covering them up, but I still might do it when I go to bed and uncover them when I get up. So we'll just have to see. I might start doing that when I do the Christmas cactuses as well. And here is my rosebush, who is doing quite well. We got some new leaves popping up here. New leaves coming in. That's a good sign. Everything is looking good. We got new leaves coming in. I love seeing that. Everything looks good for my rosebush. Okay guys, we just came back from outside, and what you want to do with the poinsettias right now is just cover them. Make sure they are in complete darkness for 12 to 15 hours a day. So in Florida, the sun sets around 6 and doesn't rise again to about 7 the next morning, so it's about 12 hours of darkness. But just to make sure they're gonna have plenty of darkness, I'm going to put like a little barrel or something over them so they are in complete darkness around that time, and then see if they start. They need to be in complete darkness like that for about 8 to 10 weeks, which is why I'm starting now. So by the end of November, we will hopefully see flowers on them. So that's gonna be something very, very interesting to see if I can get it to rebloom for me. Just have to wait and see. So again, the fertilizers that I use, all the links will be in the description below in case you would like to check those out. This is my fertilizer for my roses. I do them every 2 weeks. So that I use Miracle-Gro. I love Miracle-Gro. They're not sponsoring this video, but I love their products so much. And this is for everything else: the poinsettia outside, the aloe plants, the Christmas and Easter cactuses. This is what I use for them. And for my orchids, I use this. It's for just when my orchids are having roots or having leaves. This is the one you want to use for that. And then this is my blooming booster. This is the one I use if they are in flower spike, which most of mine are. This is the one you want to use for that. Again, the links will be in the description below. And this is my thermometer, humidifier, detector little thing that I use. It tells me the current temperature. It tells me how much humidity is in the air around my orchids. So that way I can always tell if the temperature is just right when I walk in here to check on them, and if I need to turn up the heater or turn down the AC depending on the temperature. But again, Phalaenopsis orchids cannot take temperatures below 65. So around winter time, I turn the heater on, but I make sure it doesn't go any below 65. I usually keep it around 66 to 68 in the winter time. So everything's looking good for those guys. So that is going to be it for this week's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it, share to grow our community, and subscribe if you're new here. I do plant update videos every single Tuesday, and hit that bell so you're always notified when I put out new videos, and I will see you guys next week.